So let's talk about it. It's one of the biggest financial puzzles so many of us face. How in the world are you supposed to pay down a mountain of student debt while also trying to save for your future? It can feel like this impossible tug of war, right? But what if it doesn't have to be? Let's dive in and figure this thing out. This feeling right here, this is exactly where we're starting. This quote from a Reddit user just nails the dilemma perfectly. You're trying so hard to do the right thing, building up that safety net, but at the same time, high interest debt is just creeping up in the background. It feels like you're just shuffling money around, and it's an incredibly frustrating and super common cycle to be stuck in. And that brings us to the big question. What's the priority? Do you throw every single spare dollar you have at your loans to get them gone? Or do you focus on building that retirement nest egg, knowing that time is literally your most valuable asset? The truth is, there's no single perfect answer for everyone, but there is a smart strategy that's perfect for you.
And make no mistake, the scale of this problem is huge. According to research from Experian, this is the average student loan debt for millennials. That is a serious financial hurdle to clear before you can even begin to think about other big life goals like buying a house or, saving for retirement.
So let's really break down this financial tug of war. The pressure is absolutely real, and you are not alone in this. Millions of people are trying to figure out this exact same problem. But the key isn't to just keep pulling harder on both ends of the rope. It's to stop pulling, take a breath, and start planning. But before we can even begin to balance these two massive goals, we have to build a solid foundation to stand on. You simply cannot make a good plan without knowing exactly where your money is going. And that means two things are totally non-negotiable. You need a budget, and you need an emergency fund. First things first, the budget. Now, a zero-based budget, like the kind Ramsey Solutions talks about, is your most powerful weapon here. It sounds complicated, but it's really simple. You list all your income, then you list all your expenses, starting with what they call the four walls, your absolute essentials: food, utilities, housing, and transportation. The goal is for your income minus your expenses to equal zero. Now, that doesn't mean you have no money left. It just means every single dollar has a job, whether its job is paying a bill, going into savings, or attacking debt. Okay. The second part of that foundation is the emergency fund. This is what we've all been taught, right? It's a pile of cash, maybe $1,000 to start, then eventually 3 to 6 months of expenses. It's set aside so that when your car breaks down or you get a surprise medical bill, it doesn't send you spiraling into more debt. But what if you already have high interest debt? Now check this out. Here is a really powerful idea from the personal finance community on Reddit that completely reframes this. If you have credit card debt at, say, 20% interest, what's the point of earning maybe 1% on your savings? The logic here is to take that emergency fund cash and just wipe out that high interest debt right now. Then the now empty credit card, that becomes your new emergency fund. It's a big mental shift for sure, but mathematically it could save you an absolute fortune in interest payments. All right, your foundation is set, you've got a budget, you've got a plan for emergencies. Now it's time to choose your strategy for actually attacking the debt itself. And this is not a one-size-fits-all thing. It's about picking the method that works for your money and, just as importantly, for your personality. And really, it all boils down to two main schools of thought, which Fidelity visualizes really well here. You've got the debt snowball and the debt avalanche. They both get you to the exact same place, which is debt freedom, but the journey to get there is very, very different. So here's the difference. The debt snowball is all about psychology. It's about your motivation. You list your debts from the smallest balance to the largest, and you ignore the interest rates. You throw all your extra cash at the smallest one. Once it's gone, you get this huge psychological win that motivates you to keep going. The debt avalanche, on the other hand, is pure math. It's for the spreadsheet lovers. You attack the debt with the highest interest rate first. No question. This method will always save you the most money in the long run. Okay, we've got a debt plan, but now we have to pivot to the other side of the scale, retirement. And it is so tempting to say, you know what, I'll deal with retirement after my loans are gone. But delaying, even just for a few years, has staggering consequences. And it's all because of one incredible, unstoppable force: compound growth. Just take a look at this chart. It's based on data from T. Rowe Price, and it shows you everything you need to know. If you start saving at age 25, you could end up with a portfolio worth around 11 times your final salary. Not bad. But wait just 10 years to age 35, and that number plummets to 7 times. Wait until you're 40, and it's down to 5. Time is truly the most powerful, most valuable ingredient in your retirement plan. You can't get it back. So what's the absolute number one unbreakable rule of all of this? This, right here. If your company offers a 401k match, let's say they match 100% of what you put in up to 5% of your salary, you have to contribute at least that 5%. Not doing that is literally turning down 100% return on your money. It's free money. I'm going to say it again. It is free money. Never, ever, ever leave it on the table. Now, once you're getting that full match, you've got a few options. And the core decision between a traditional account or a Roth account really comes down to one simple question. Do you want your tax break now, or do you want it in retirement? A traditional account uses pre-tax money, which lowers your taxable income today. A Roth uses after-tax money, which means your qualified withdrawals in retirement are tax-free. The choice really just depends on whether you think you're in a higher tax bracket now than you will be in the future.
Okay, we have covered the foundation, we've covered debt strategies, and we've covered the absolute urgency of saving for retirement. Now it is time to bring it all together. The goal here isn't to find some perfect, magical answer that works for everybody. The goal is to build the answer that works perfectly for you. And that leads us to a really clear, actionable, hybrid plan, combining insights from sources like Kiplinger and RBC. Step 1, always, no exceptions, get that employer match. Step 2, use every extra dollar you have to viciously attack high-interest debt. We're talking anything over about 7 or 8%. Once that toxic debt is gone, you make the pivot in Step 3, and you crank up your retirement contributions. And for any low-interest debt you might have left, it can actually make more sense to just pay the minimum while you focus on investing your money for a better return.
And get this, here is a fantastic pro tip that shows how these goals can actually work together. If you're on an income-driven repayment plan for your federal student loans, your monthly payment is based on your adjusted gross income, or your AGI. Well, contributions to a traditional pre-tax 401k actually lower your AGI. So saving more for retirement can literally lower your monthly student loan payment at the exact same time. It's a total win-win. So to build your personal plan, you've got to start by asking yourself these questions. What are your interest rates? That's going to tell you if you need to go with the avalanche method. Do you get an employer match? That tells you your absolute first savings priority. And be honest with yourself on this last one. How much do you value that psychological boost of a quick win? Your answer will tell you if the snowball method is the right fit for you. Look, you now have all the building blocks. You have the frameworks. You know the tactics for budgeting, for paying down debt, and for saving for your future. The only real question left is the one you have to answer for yourself. What's your strategy going to be?